before. I want to jump higher than before. I want to shout louder than before. Yeah. Come on and say, freedom, freedom. God, I thank you for freedom, freedom.
Prayers seems to suggest that at least I know the Lord hears my prayer. I don't know if you've ever been in that place where you kind of scratching your head with where you were in your life. You were wondering, does the Lord hear me? Is he answering my prayers? And then you pray certain prayers and the Lord open up the door, the Lord makes a way, and it reassures. It's not like that reassurance that the Lord hears your prayer. I can look around and say, well, I know he hears this person's prayer and I know he hears that person's prayer. But when you put certain prayers out there and the Lord does it just like you ask for it, it gives you some joy down in your heart that you matter to God. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? That you feel good because you prayed a prayer and the Lord answered it, and it makes you feel as though that you matter to God. Well, it's when you know that you have God as an audience, where you have God's attention, where you know at least he will answer your prayer, that you thank him for whatever it was he did, but you reach back and remind, now God, what about this? It's not that you're not thankful, but this is the little small stuff that is done, but this big thing that I've been asking God for, I've been petitioning God. Oh God, I done swallowed my pride and I done shouted around the church for this thing. I done touched and agreed. I embarrassed myself by telling some folk my problems and my situation, and I said, I'm just gonna believe that God is going to do this thing. I'm just wondering if I'm talking to the right folk in the house on this morning. Brothers and sisters, it's that thing that even though God is doing a bunch of other stuff, it's that one thing that will get on our nerves. The Bible talks about a man whose name was Naaman. Naaman was a captain in the army, and as being a captain of the army, he had position, he had status, he had influence and affluence. He had money, he had power, he had authority, but the Bible put in there, but he was a leper. In other words, he had everything going right in his life but that one thing. Wondering if anybody knows what it's like to have this right, have that right, have this over here right, but that one thing you just can't seem to get right. One thing just seems to constantly be out of whack, be out of order. I mean, you can pray, move heaven, the money is not too bad, relationship in your household is not too bad, but maybe it's a condition in your body that the doctors can't seem to do anything with. Maybe it's a situation on the job and it just won't turn. Maybe it's right at the church, maybe it's right in your finance, maybe it's right on the job, but it's messed up in your house. You got everything going on. People coming to you. I'm going to see if I got any real folk in the house. Folk coming to you asking advice regarding the same kind of problem you going through. You give them advice and it works for them, but you can't seem to make it work in your house. Yeah, it almost drive you crazy. You got everything going right, but that one thing, and you start to question whether or not, the Lord really loves you, but then he sends another blessing your way. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? How you can be frustrated, but the Lord send a blessing your way just to remind you, I still got you. I need you to encourage somebody and tell them the Lord still got you. Come on. I need you to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and forget about everything in between. Count your blessings. Lord, help me in here. Name them one by one. Count your blessings and see what the Lord has done. I know you got something to complain about, but when you begin to focus on the fact that the Lord continues to bless you, the Lord continues to uphold you, the Lord continues to keep you, you realize you got something to praise the Lord for. Lord have mercy, I feel like preaching. Brothers and sisters, when you think about it, what you got to understand is if you look at your situation and how cumbersome and how worrying it is, you should have lost your mind a long time ago. But I need you to take a moment and realize even though I'm in the fire, I'm loose in the fire. I still got my joy. I still got my victory. I still got to get up and go in me. Even though it's bad, even though I'm crying, even though I don't know what to do, the joy of the Lord is my strength. And I have decided I will bless the Lord at all times. Do I have any blessings in the house that will bless him at all times? I need you to give God a praise right now. Yes, sir. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Come on. I need to take you in deeper because what happens is when you got that one thing, everybody say that one thing. That one thing will almost drive you crazy. Oh, yes. Come on. Come on. That one thing bring out the other you. I need somebody to tell the truth in here. That one thing that will take you to the edge of insanity. That one thing that will take you to the edge of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. The one thing that will make you go postal at home. Oh God, the one thing that will make you go off right in church. Yes, it will take you there. Tell somebody, tell them, don't go there. Don't go there. Yeah, it will take you there. God, even though everything else is going well, that one thing will take you there. And what happens is, if you become too cumbered with it, too vexed by it, you will try to come up with plots and schemes, trying to fix it and trying to make it work. I mean, you start breaking rules, you start bending rules, trying to make things work. You become anxious and antsy because you want it and you want it now. Can I talk in here? We got some folk, you want it and you want it now. I don't know if I can make it another day without it. I don't know if I can go another moment dealing with this craziness and this nonsense. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm frustrated and annoyed because things won't move and things won't change. But I want to tell you something. You got to understand two things here. Number one, the devil will use it to try to make you fall. You never should allow yourself, watch this, you can Facebook this or tweet this, never allow yourself to become so needy that you become vulnerable. I just said something important. Never get so needy that you become desperate, that you become vulnerable. In other words, now I'm putting myself out. I want it. I got to have it. I feel like I'm entitled to it. Let me pause and throw this in. Some of y'all looking at folk across the street down the way, and you seeing how she get blessed like that. How he get blessed like that. I've been more faithful than they have. I've been here more. I've been giving more than they have. How is it they getting their blessings sooner than I have? You don't go. You can't compare yourself to what other folks have because you don't know all they've been through to get what they got. Touch somebody and say, you like me, but you don't know me. Oh, God. Don't be scared. Don't touch somebody, tell them I ain't scared of you. You don't know me like that. You don't go with me at home and see the struggles I have at home. You don't know the sleepless nights that I have. You don't know the time that I struggle trying to get the crazy kids together who want to get in an argument about what they don't have, and I want to tell them how much I don't have. You don't know all I've been through. All you see is what I show you when I come to church. But if you know what I've been through, you wouldn't ask for what I got. Lord, help me in here. Oh, God, but if you're not careful, the devil will use you in your vulnerability to try to get you to get something sooner than you ought to get it. You got to understand, brothers and sisters, God wants to take us through a process. It's the process that develops character. It's the process that develops integrity. It's the process that develops the qualities that enable you to have the capacity to hold what you're asking for. I'm preaching better than y'all shouted, because I'm trying to tell you, the devil, the Bible says, a man is tempted when he's drawn away after his own lust and enticed. And so then what does the devil use to draw you away? The bait that you use to go fishing will only work when it's what the fish wants. Come on, let's go fishing. If you're going fishing and you're putting a corn on the cob at the end of the hook and you're throwing it in the water, I can pretty much bet you ain't gonna catch nothing. You can throw cabbage greens, you can throw a pork chop, you probably ain't gonna catch nothing. But if you know how to put a worm on the hook and throw the worm in the water, the problem is I don't want to touch a worm. I don't want to deal with the worm, and it's gooey and it's sticky and it's all nasty on the inside, and even worse, it's squirmy. But if what I want is in the water, I got to do what I need to do on the dry ground. I got to do what I got to do on dry ground to get what I want out of the water. But if I listen to the devil will tell me, you ain't got to use a fishing pole. All you got to do is jump in the water and go get it and come up and goody goo goo. Y'all get that later. But what I'm trying to tell you, God is saying, I got an order. I want to develop you. I want to give you character. I want to put something in you where you don't appreciate the gift more than the gift giver. Oh, God, help you here. So the devil will try to get you to race. The devil will get you to try to run ahead of God. He will cause you to try to be anxious for what you are pursuing. Oh, God, look at somebody, tell them it's on the agenda. Brothers and sisters, he says, I'm going to try and trip you up. He will present a mirage. He will present something that's a fake. He will present an imitation. But I'm wondering if there's anybody in the house like me that they're already tired of dealing with fake folks, tired of dealing with folk who promise one thing and won't deliver. It's not even about whether they can deliver, they won't deliver. I'm ready to kiss the fake folk goodbye and move on with my ride or die. I'm just wondering, do I got any ride or die folk in the house on this morning? It's the devil that's trying to trick you, to try to give you what you're praying for, what you're longing for out of season. Somebody help me now and say out of season. If I tried to plant a kernel of corn in the winter time. There's no sense of me sitting out in the middle of January waiting for a stalk of corn to come up, because I'm planting it out of season. But if I wait for God, I told you, check me when I get out the book. Be not weary in well-doing, for in due season, everybody say due season. Oh God, let's see, there's spring, summer, fall, winter, and then there's due season. Oh God, I'm gonna do that again for y'all that missed it. There's springtime, there's summertime, there's fall, and there's winter, but then there's due season. Look at your neighbor and say, I got a due season. The due season is the appointed time that God has determined to bless you. The due season is the designated time that God has determined to give you what you've been asking for. The due season can't be rushed. The due season can't be accelerated. The due season comes when God says it's due. And I'm so glad my due season is not behind me, but it's in front of me. If I got anybody in the house that believes they got a due season, I need you to make some noise. Oh God, up in this place this morning, I got a due season, but I want it all. Do I have any radical folks in the house? I know y'all ain't got an organ, but I just wonder, do I have any crazy people in the house? High five somebody and tell them I want it all. Yes, I do. Oh God, I want everything that the Lord has for me. And so then, brothers and sisters, the second thing you've got to be aware of is that God is using the situation to develop you to a point where you're not so consumed by the gift that you lose sight of the gift giver. Oh God, you've got to understand, brothers and sisters, as we draw it in now, you've got to understand that God has an agenda that is bigger than you. Tell somebody, tell them, God's got an agenda that's bigger than me. The problem with us is we think the world evolves around us. We will say no, but if that stuff don't go the way we want it to go, we are quick to throw a temper tantrum. When God has a greater purpose and a greater agenda. And so then, brothers and sisters, what I need you to really grasp on this morning is that there are some things that God is putting in place that are designed to give him glory. You are not, God is not fitting into your plans, but God created you to fit into his plans. I'm going to do that again. This thing is not about you and what you want, but this is about the plan that God has that he's fitting you in. You don't realize the impact that God wants to make is bigger than you, but it's not separate and apart from you. The agenda that God has is bigger than you, but it includes you. And so then when we understand this, we understand that God will establish things and set certain things in order. He will manipulate things. He will position things all to accomplish a task that he has in mind. When I look back over my life, I started in the Louisville, Kentucky area, moved down to Macon, Georgia, and then I came to Toledo, Ohio. Oh God, when I look at some of the things that transpired in Macon, Georgia, if it had not happened there, I never would have wound up in Toledo, Ohio. I have no family here, didn't know anybody here, but God used used what happened in Macon to get me to Toledo. But we never would have gone to Macon if what had happened in Louisville didn't happen. Dad got a transfer from his job to a city we had never been before and where we did not have any relatives. So God had to move on my dad's job in Louisville to get us to move to Macon. But he had to move in my situation in Macon to get me to come to a city I'd never been before. So when I look at where I am now, I understand that all things are working together for my good to them that love the Lord. When I understand it further, understand that God has an eternal purpose. I am limited in time and by time, but God has an eternal purpose. He sets me in his purpose that is taking me someplace I don't know. But in setting me in his purpose, there are certain desires he puts in my heart. Have you ever been praying about something and then you ask God for something and you don't know where that came from? Okay, maybe I'm talking, oh gosh, you somewhere in your prayer, you're praying about a problem, you're praying about a concern, but in the midst of your prayer, the prayer takes a turn, and you begin to ask for stuff that never crossed your mind, and as you go throughout time and life, that you asked for, that you didn't think to ask for, has now become a part of your prayer life and the way that you think. You made a turn, but you made it in prayer. You start going in a direction that you were unfamiliar with. Let me explain what happened. When God set you in his purpose, he put a desire in you to ask for something that you didn't think about. But little did you realize, God knows what you need. So he puts the desire in you to ask for what you didn't know that you needed. So it ain't what I want, it's what he wants me to want. And when I want what he wants me to want, I'm now consumed with it. And he said, if you ask what you will, I'll give you the desires of your heart. Touch your neighbor and tell him it's on the agenda. And so then, brothers and sisters, I ain't got time to deal with it. I'll deal with it next week. Hannah is asking for a baby, but little does Hannah realize that she needs a prophet that will, God needs rather, a prophet that he will raise up to anoint the first king of Israel. The plans that God has are in regards to the nation of Israel. Hannah was looking for her family, but God was looking for the nation of Israel. But God said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the blessing she's asking for until she starts to ask for what I want her to ask for. I'm almost done. She said, give me a baby. She wants a baby for her family. She wants a baby to show the other wife she can do it too. But God said, I ain't concerned about your motives that are twisted. He said, I got a greater purpose. So he held the blessing off. He held the blessing off until one day she came to church. She said, all right, Lord, here's the deal. He said, I'll make a deal with you. If you give me a baby, I'll give him back to you. And God said, that's what I wanted in the first place. So since you asked according to my will, 9 months later, here come the baby. What do you you saying, preacher? I'm saying anything you ask God according to his will, you can look for it. But know this is bigger than you. The blessing is not just to bless you, but to bless everybody. Shake your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, after the opening prayer, after the scripture, after the old business, we get to the new business. And the new business is your miracle is on my agenda. Your blessing is on my agenda. Don't walk out of the meeting before the agenda is done. Cause down the line, before we close with the closing prayer, you gon' get what you asked for. Y'all help me preach. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get your miracle. You're gonna get your blessing because it's on the agenda.
God bless you again, and thank you for joining us in our weekly broadcast. It is my prayer that this word has not only inspired you, but will transform you as well. I'd like to take advantage of the opportunity to extend a personal invitation for you to come and join us at the Ark. The address is 2500 Nebraska Avenue, and it's right here in Toledo, Ohio. You also can visit us at our website, arkoftoledo.org. And as you can see, there are some opportunities to connect with us and for us to connect with you by way of social media. Not only so, we would love for you to be a part of our worship experience. You can come and share with us on Sunday mornings. We have an empowerment session at 8:45 that is basic, practical, and will bless your life. Then we have our worship services at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. In the middle of the week, we have our Bible study, which will take place at 7 p.m. on Tuesday evening. Listen, there are plenty of opportunities for us to connect with you and you to connect with us. You can write, you can call, you can stop by, you can visit. But more than anything, we want to meet you. We want to connect with you. So please take the opportunity to reach out to us even as we are reaching out to you in the Word of God. We love you. We appreciate God for you, and we're praying God's choicest blessings over your life. But until next week, you be blessed, you be enriched, and you be empowered.